Okay guys, we have a really fun one for you tonight. What are we doing, Jackson?
We're gonna catch crayfish.
That's right, and we'll show you exactly how we catch them, how we transport them, and probably how we eat them. There's a lot of stuff you're gonna learn here. So one thing you have to remember, when fishing for crayfish in Wisconsin, you are not allowed to be in possession of any fishing equipment. We have a rod here with no reel on it. It's just an old rod, and I just have a couple jigs with the hooks bent closed on them, and we can slide a crawler on the hook, but a fish can't get hooked on it. If you use a regular fishing hook, technically you've broken the law by possessing fishing equipment while fishing for crayfish. So Jackson sees a giant crayfish here, and he is correct. This thing is a giant. These are the good ones to eat. The bigger the better. So we're going to try and get him here. Now here's what we want to do. We're going to drop that jig with the worm right in front of him here. He's grabbing it right now. I'm going to bring him up. Jackson's going to net him. Boom! Got him!
Oh man.
Look at that, boy.
Look at that.
Those are the kind of crayfish you want to eat right there. Nice big ones, lots of tail meat, big claws. You can actually eat these claws on them too if they're big enough. So there's a whole bunch of these here, and we are going to load up on them. I'm just going to drop this jig with the crawler on it right in front of him. When he grabs it with both pinchers, I'm going to lift him up. Jackson's going to net him.
Boom.
Just like that.
And that's
a
quarter of a quarter of a quarter of a quarter of dinner.
That's a quarter of a quarter of a quarter of dinner. That is right. It takes a few of these. We want to get about 50 or 60 for a meal. So we already caught 20 or so the other night, but I think we can get we can get the rest tonight. There's a lot. Right, bud?
Mm.
We have a few spots that we do this at.
Daddy's still there.
Oh, he is still there.
He just comes out when you're gone.
Nope. That's what we call the rock dance.
You probably should test.
Here's one, bud.
Yep.
Crayfish on. Nice. Boom. Okay, so while Jackson puts that one away, I kind of want to explain where we're looking for these crayfish. Anywhere there's a bridge over the river on the side of the road, anywhere, and there's rock. That's basically where these things really stack up. And we're looking up here, we can just see, so they're crawling out all over all these rocks. So in the evening like this, right as the sun goes down, that's when you want to be here. Got him. Nice.
He's going in the bucket.
Nice. There's another one right here.
Oh man.
This is a deep one. He's a big one. He's a big one. Come on in here. Boom.
Why am I
Okay, get ready with the net.
move up?
He's scooting. He's scooting. We got him. Nice. So sometimes you gotta lure them out of their crevice because they'll get rocked up in there and they'll get stuck. So we just got him out and into the net. Boom. Get him crawl out on the rock.
Man, he's pretty feisty.
That's a nice one. So we got about 15 now, and we're gonna just keep catching them until we get maybe, what, 30, 40? And we should have enough for a meal. So
About halfway.
yeah, we're about halfway there. Crayfish, oh, look at, coming in. Woohoo, nice. Jackson's an expert netter. So sometimes you don't even have to see them. You can just drop it in a crack, and half the time there's one in there. As long as it's a good open crack, there's probably a crayfish in it. He wants it. Oh yeah.
He's in it. He's in it. Yeah.
Right over here. Right here.
Oh my.
Look at those claws on that bad boy. Yeah. Nice. Good one.
Dad.
That one's gonna taste good.
I can do this all day. With the lunch break.
With a lunch break, he says. Naturally, with a lunch break. Here's another one.
Here's another one for the frying pan.
Here, boy.
Hey, babe.
Oh, it's giant. Okay, wait. He's
back in there.
huge.
Oh my word.
He's bigger than the other one.
Bigger
I'm telling
than
you right
the
now.
biggest one?
Yeah.
Because this
Okay,
is
he's on it.
the biggest one of our career.
He's on it. Oh, he's so big. He's so big. Okay, get ready. Scoop. Oh, yeah. This is a big one.
Oh, I'm eating them.
Oh my goodness.
I call it, and I'm eating them.
This one is probably the biggest crayfish we've ever caught.
Oh my.
He's got about a 8-inch wingspan. Look at that bad boy. He's gonna eat good, huh, bud?
Yeah, can I hold it?
Right there. Alright guys, it's getting a little dark to film here. We're still catching them. We just caught one more here. We're gonna catch a few more of these and we're gonna go home and I'll show you how we prepare them, what we do with them, and then I'll show you my favorite recipe to eat these things, and then we're gonna cook us up a nice crayfish dinner, right buddy?
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, so we've got these crayfish now separated into 2 buckets to give them a little room, and we've got them on an aerator so that they survive. They're just like fish, they take up oxygen out of the water, so you want to make sure that they're aerated. And we're just going to clean the water every day for a couple days until it clears up and they clean themselves out. Then we should be ready for our crayfish dinner, right bud?
Yeah.
We've been watching them for a couple days. We let the water clear up so they're now purged. And now we're going to go ahead and get to cooking these guys. So here we are in the kitchen, and we're going to go through all the steps that you need to know to cook your crayfish. So starting with cleaning and prepping, boiling, seasoning, the whole thing. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a crayfish boil, which is a pretty typical way to cook crayfish. Oftentimes they add potatoes and corn and stuff like that, vegetables, but we're just doing the straight crayfish tonight. It's simple. That's our favorite part anyway, right bud?
Yep.
So how this works is we have to season the water that the crayfish are going to be boiled in, because if you try and season the outside of the crayfish after you boil them, the flavor doesn't get to the meat. It's just on the outside of the shell. So I'm going to show you exactly what we use to season the water and how we boil them, how long we boil them. So let's get started. Okay, so number 1 is rinse the crayfish. Wash them off really good. I'm just going to use a colander for this. Place it in the sink. Dump the crayfish in. Then we're going to just use our sprayer setting and hose them down really good to get any loose debris off of them. Once we spray them down, I'm just going to put them in a clean container until we're ready to put them in the boil. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do to season our water is 5 tablespoons of iodized salt. 4, 5. As you can see, I'm very precise. Okay, the second thing I'm going to use is Xatarian shrimp and crab boil. So this is a liquid boil. It gets into everything really well. Great seasoning. So I will leave a link in the description for this stuff, as well as some of the other seasonings we're going to put in here. But basically 2 tablespoons of this go right in the boiling water. Alright, so the third ingredient is Old Bay seasoning. This is one of my favorites for any kind of seafood seasoning at all. I use this stuff all the time. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of this in as well. And then a little bit of Louisiana Cajun seasoning. We'll go 1 tablespoon of that. And then I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Just regular bottled lemon juice here. There we go. So that's all the ingredients we're going to need in the boil to season the crayfish. And then what I have here is a bowl of ice. We're going to drop those crayfish in there, boil them for a few minutes, and once they're boiled, we're going to want to stop the boil and let them soak. So that's what the ice is for. It's to drop in there as soon as those crayfish are cooked. So we're going to get all those seasonings mixed up, and we're going to bring this pot to a rolling boil. Okay, so as you can see, our water is at a rolling boil. We are ready to drop these puppies in, and we're going to boil them. Basically, we're going to bring the pot back to a boil once we dump the crayfish in, and we're going to boil them 2 minutes, remove from the heat, and put that ice in to stop the boil, and then we're going to let them soak. Alright, here we go, Geronimo! Ooh, that did not feel good. Okay guys, we just got back to a rolling boil, so I'm going to set our timer here for 2 minutes. And we're going to let them boil for 2 minutes, then we're going to remove them and ice them up. So we've hit 2 minutes. We're going to slide them off here, just like that. We're going to dump our ice in to stop the boil. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to let this crayfish soak for about 20 minutes to half an hour in this mixture, in the boil. And that's going to really let the flavor soak into those crayfish. And then we're going to go ahead and eat them, right buddy?
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we're going to make our garlic butter that we're going to dip these in, which is my favorite part. And then I'm also going to fry up some walleye. So I've got some really good fish recipes. If you guys are interested in seeing some more catch and cooks or some more fish recipes, let me know, drop a comment. And we can definitely do some more of that. So, all right, now it's time to make our garlic butter. And I do this the easy way. I'm not like making fancy drawn butter or anything like that. I'm simply melting some butter. I'm gonna cut this garlic, and I'm gonna use this little guy right here because I hate mincing garlic. I'll leave a link in the description for this too, but basically you put your garlic clove in here, press it, and it's done. You just put it right in the butter. It's super nice and fine. Super easy. That's what I'm all about. And I'm also going to use a little lemon juice in that. So just going to cut the ends off like this. And then I drop them right in that little slot there. Squeeze them. And then slice off that little bunch. And it's just nice and almost like minced, but also mashed a little bit. So it mixes in with the butter really well. Drop this guy in. And 2 cloves of garlic. Just like that. Now we can put our stick of butter in the bowl. Like so. And I'm just going to add half a tablespoon of lemon juice. Alright guys, I'm going to grab this pot. We're going to strain it out in the colander here. And we're going to just leave the crayfish in the colander. So I'm going to grab this with hot pads because it is still hot. We're just going to pour it in, strain out the water. And you'll see these babies are nice and red. Ooh, those look good. I'm just going to shake them a little bit, get the drips out, and then those are ready to serve. So we're going to bring them over to the counter and dig in. Alright guys, it's time to finally eat here. Jackson, what were we going to do first? Do you remember? We just bend the tail back like this, and it pulls everything out, just like that. Pull them in half, and then you're just going to peel them one piece at a time.
What do you mean?
So one little segment at a time. We're going to pull them off until eventually you got enough off the meat that you can actually pull it right out. And then eventually what you end up with is that right there. That's the meat. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh,
That is amazing.
so good.
Is there any other parts that we
So,
need?
yeah, one other thing we can do with the bigger ones is if they've got big enough claws, this is actually the best meat of the whole crayfish. You can pull that thumb, you can get a little meat on there, and then what we can actually do is bite that shell, pull it apart, and then you can get at the meat inside right there. And that is some of the best meat that there is in Wisconsin right there. Crayfish claw meat. Alright Jackson, what's our favorite part of the
Sucking the juice out of the head.
That's right. Actually, one of the tastiest parts of the crayfish is up in here, and there's a hole here. You just put your lips over it. Suck those juices out. It tastes just like that nice seasoning we had in there. That's the best part of the crayfish right there. So while we're eating these crayfish, I just wanted to mention, you guys should go check out my Instagram page. Lots of interesting stuff on there. I post on there every day. Kind of keep you updated on what's going on, stuff you won't see on the YouTube channel. And we also do some giveaways on there, and I do a live every night, every Thursday night, every week at 9 o'clock. So come and join us on those lives at 9 o'clock on Thursday. I have some different guys from the northern Wisconsin area and all over the place, and we just talk fishing reports and stuff like that. So we're gonna finish our dinner here and sign out, but until next time, you guys get hooked up, go get you some crayfish and have a good dinner. Go for the big one over here. There's actually 4 of them, 5 of them.
Can you cut out a fart?
Yep,
Because I just farted.
I can cut out a fart,
Okay,
but
good.
maybe I won't.